not mine, but I found this online.
September 19th. Nothing so far. Yeah, what is that? It's like breathing. Come to the pantry. No. Oh, I hear it. Oh my god. Oh my god. Go, 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 go. Man. Go up, go, go. Go up. What the hell is that? Do you feel anything? I can't. It's cold. What the hell is that? Oh my god. Oh my god, dude. The hell is that? Oh shit. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Hello all, welcome back to Shaving with Peg Leg. It's time for a Sunday head shave. And I got a drop of water on my glasses, so I can't see shit anyways. But, oh, made that worse. Let's try this cloth and see if I can clean it up. The other one was damp. Alright, there we go. Head shave today. I like this shaving cream, Noxzema. It's supposed to be a cocoa butter scent, but I really don't get much off of it. So I added 5 drops of HC&C Wanted. It's Hendrix Classic & Company. Their Wanted scent that's based on Azzaro's Wanted scent. I'm using my Turning by Tansy brush. Got it whipped up in a stainless steel bowl. There's a lot of soap in that brush, trust me. It kind of went up into the knot. I'll get it out, don't worry. And we're gonna do something really crazy today. As you can tell by the thumbnail. Head shave today. I was wondering what to use for a head shave, and I didn't want to use the same razor twice in a row, and I said, well, what the hell. I shaved my face with it yesterday. So let's try the head with a straight on a stick. The Rolls razor for a head shave. Let's see if this is even possible. If not, I got several cartridges hanging up over here. I'll switch if it gets too bloody. So let's see what the flip happens here. This could be crazy. Could be completely freaking insane nuts. Could very well be. I could be bleeding myself out here. Well, if I do, it'll be the last time. And you probably won't see it because there won't be anybody around to post it. So, we'll see how this goes. Alright. Back to front is with the grain. We're only going to go two ways, with and against. Lay it flat, bring it up a little bit till you feel it start cutting. Lay it flat, bring it up till you feel it start cutting. Lay it flat, bring it up till you feel it start cutting. And we will keep this. Will take a while, gentlemen, because I am going to go slow with this thing. Oof. Oof, oof. Definitely a dangerous way to shave the dome. After I used this yesterday, I ran it across the strop another 50 times. And after this shave, I will run it across the strop. I did 25 more times before I started the shave too. So since the last shave, it's had 75 trips across the strop again. And I'll do the same thing before I use it again next time. Now, Dave in Kentucky is probably going to see this one. He saw yesterday's too. And he said, very good. You did it with the safety bar on. Now take the safety bar off and shave with it. Alright, Dave. You first. I might take the safety bar. I might not take the safety bar off this blade because this is the one that came with the one I'm using, but the backup blade I got when I bought my second one, I might take the safety bar off that one and try with that blade. Wow. Let me tell you what, on the back of the head, that's a little rough. That is a little rough on the back of the dome. I'm pulling my skin tight, so any of my rolls and divots back there kind of stretched out a little bit. So I don't lop them off. Tell you what, I could have used either a slicker soap or a pre-shave before that. Tell you what, it didn't do bad. But you know what I'm going to do? Speaking of that, Pear's pre-shave. Yeah, I think it needs it. Because that stuff's pretty slick. So now I've never had a problem with slickness with this Noxzema, but with that razor, slickness is a thing. I don't know, should I do 3 passes or should I just do 2? Alright, let's go 3. What the hell? Okay, on this date, 1938, what happened? You guys know? You guys know who Orson Welles is, right? Do you know how he got famous? He's the one that narrated H.G. Wells, no relation. Orson Welles spells his name W-E-L-L-E-S, and H.G. Wells is W-E-L-L-S. He narrated H.G. Wells' 1898 book as a play, a 1-hour play on CBS Radio of War of the Worlds. And it wasn't as much of a panic as everybody thinks it was, because most people were listening to, on the radio, were listening to the Edgar Bergen, whatever, Chase and Sandberg Hour variety show, and not many people were tuning in to the CBS show. But the thousands that were listening were calling police stations, they were calling newspapers, they were calling radio stations, they were calling family members, they were calling anybody they could get a hold of to talk about this alien invasion. Now, before the play started, there was an announcement that the following is a play. It's not real, folks. It's just a play. So, be warned. And then they started playing music. And then they interrupted the music and they came on with, let's see if I can find his name. They came on with a doctor that said that he had witnessed explosions on the surface of Mars. And quite concerning because they didn't know what they were. Then they went back and started playing some more music. Then they interrupted the music again and came on to say that a fiery object had crashed in the farmland in New Jersey. And that a reporter was on his way to investigate. So they went back to the music again. So they played music again. This thing is doing a really good job. So they go back to playing music again. Then, after a few minutes, they break in with a reporter who's on the scene, eyewitness account, saying how he could see this 30-yard long metallic object in the ground. And there's 2 black holes in it. They look like eyes. Oh, wait, there's tentacles coming out. There's objects coming out. And after a while, he says, they're like tentacles. Oh, now more are coming out from different areas of this metal object. All these are coming out. And supposedly, the National Guard had been called, the State Guard had been called, and everybody had been called. And he's reporting this whole thing live, what he's seen. And he said, oh, troops are showing up now. They're surrounding the object. Oh, my God. Heat ray just disintegrated all these troops, just killed them all. He's reporting this, and he's like, oh, it's attacking civilians now that are the onlookers. And then he goes quiet. There's a noise, then he goes quiet. And he's not heard from again on the play. So people who are listening to this are losing their freaking minds because most of them did not hear the beginning that it was a play. They're hearing a news report, a news broadcast, which you got to remember, there's not that many TVs back then. Well, actually, there was none. And there's no TV broadcast of this. Everything was done by radio back then. So now, the only source of what's going on is the eyewitness reporter broadcasting over the radio, who has now stopped broadcasting. He's stopped airing his reports because civilians were now being attacked. So they go on with some more news of sightings that this thing is moving towards downtown New York City and everything, and people are still losing their minds because, like I said, they did not hear the original beginning of it saying that it was just a play. So now you have a reporter who's on the ABC radio building roof looking out over the streets of New York, in New York City. And he said this thing's moving down the street with a cloud of gas in front of it. And people are panicking and fleeing the gas. But as it gets, the gas encompasses them, they drop to the ground and become still. And he's like, this is getting closer to me, it's getting closer. And after a couple minutes of reporting the horror, the tragedy that he sees, and how the military that's in the streets are having absolutely no effect on this thing. The shots are just bouncing off of it. Nothing's happening. They're hitting it with cannon fire, bazookas, whatever. Well, not bazookas. They were hitting it with tanks and nothing was happening to it. Gunfire, nothing. It just kept coming and coming. And it was killing everything in its wake. And the whole time he's saying, it's getting closer to my position. It's getting closer to my position. And this cloud of gas is enveloping buildings and killing everybody it touches and everything. He said, oh my God, it's in the street below me. And then you hear him cough and go silent. And everybody was losing their minds that was listening to this. They were all going nuts. The Martians had invaded the world and were killing everyone. Not bad. Still got my trouble spots. So, the next day after the report, newspapers across the country, a lot of stations across the country did not air the episode. They had preempted the episode for local programming. Local acts were on instead. So not everybody across the country heard the CBS broadcast. But newspapers across the country knew about it. And they were all screaming for the FCC to stop, not to allow anything like this ever to happen again. And newspapers were already mad at radio because it was taking advertising dollars away from newspapers. People were putting their advertising dollars into radio instead of newspapers, and they were losing money as it was. They were losing readership because people would just listen to the news instead of reading it. Kind of like today, newspapers are dead because of TV and the internet. So, yeah, they all screamed about it then. Well, Orson Welles was interviewed and asked if he knew this would cause a panic. And he didn't. No, I didn't know it was going to cause a panic. We said that it was a play in the very beginning. And then they started getting questioned. Well, why didn't you say it like every 15 minutes and come out and say it was a play? Instead of, then it defeats the purpose of the play to come out and say every 15 minutes that this is all fake, folks. Don't panic. And that episode on the radio of War of the Worlds put Orson Welles into the spotlight and kicked off his career. He was just an actor downtown New York City on Broadway. He was just an actor, off Broadway actually. He wasn't even a main player. He was just off Broadway plays. and he came in and did the voice for this on this play on the radio, and it propelled him into stardom. And the investigations went on for months after this, because it scared not so many people, but because the newspapers were fueling it, because they were so pissed off that it happened, that the FCC should not allow such things on the radio, because it sounded like a real news broadcast, or a real on-site news report. And some went so far to even say, this is why newspapers are more important than radio, because you would not get false reporting like that from newspapers. I still want to do a little bit right there. I got the soap. I got plenty of soap in this brush, trust me. I mean, you can see it. It's... I'm applying just a wee bit more pressure. Not a lot. I like the skin on my head. It kind of keeps everything where it's supposed to be. But yeah, that show propelled Orson Welles into stardom. We're good, guys. That can I tell you something? Yeah, I had to go over it a few times, but I was really not pressing at all with that the first passes. That last pass there, I pressed a little bit. I was just letting the razor literally glide across my head, because it's a straight razor on a stick. I didn't want to cut my head up. So I did that real gentle, and then this last one I did a little bit, and I'm pretty good. I think I got a little spot right up here still. So we'll get that. I thought I felt something when I rubbed my head. I got it now. Alright, now we're good. But could you imagine, back then, no TV, just the radio. This has got a lot of cocoa butter in it. That's the reason I'm doing this with it. Let that cocoa butter get into the skin. Cocoa butter is really good for your skin too. Sorry, didn't mean to do that, but. But could you imagine being listening to the radio and hear that? And not hear the very beginning where they said it was just a play? You'd lose your shit. You literally would. You'd be freaking losing your mind. Especially if you were in the New Jersey, New York area. You'd be kissing your ass goodbye. You'd think, this is it. We're done. We can't stop the Martians, because you're getting reports that they're using tanks on it. They're using weapons. Nothing's stopping it. It's not even denting it. That's really good. I'm just gonna use this just to see if I get any tingle or zings or dings or anything. Maybe a half a point, maybe. Just like tinging and zinging going on up there right now. But you really would. You'd be like, we're done. It's over. Martians have taken the Earth. I'm sure most of us have seen one of two versions of War of the Worlds, one of the movies. 2012 was the Tom Cruise version, I think. It was 2012. Then there was one in 58, I believe. The older version. Star Jelly. Just that much. Don't need a lot of that stuff. That stuff goes a long way. 2. Buckle my shoe. It smells so good. I love that Wanted. That's good. Alright, Hendrix Company and Classics and Company, excuse me. HC&C Aftershave Balm. Unscented. With 2 drops of Wanted. Oh, that feels so good. Smells good too. And to top it off, a couple of spritches of Wanted by Night. It's not exactly the same scent, but Wanted is the base of it, so we'll go with that. Alright guys, appreciate you being here for a head shave with the Rolls razor. Actually came out pretty decent. No blood. That's totally unexpected for me. I thought I was going to be shredding skin. With Noxzema shave cream and HC&C's Wanted scent oil. Using once again my 26mm Turning by Tansy brush in my stainless steel bowl, which is slick as snot and just fell on my hand. But otherwise, we're good. Good shave, guys. Appreciate you being here. Thank you. Don't forget the affiliate link. Still very close to $25. When we hit it, I will buy a $25 gift card for the Razor Company. Give it away to you guys. Appreciate it. Check out the 4 channels I'll post in the description box. Give them a sub if you haven't. Please, let's just try and boost everybody's numbers. I appreciate you being here, guys. Thanks a lot. And from Orson Welles and H.G. Wells and the Martians, I say, enough of the babbling fat guy in the camera. You're in the chair next. Happy shaves out there, guys.